ekekere ụwa ahụ Chukwu okike nna anyị nke ebi n'eluigwe anụ ma arịọ gị n'ụbọchị taa ahụ December 15, 2021 bụrụkwanụ afọ ukwu afọ ahụ mgbe ahụ ekekere ụwa n'ụbọchị atọ wụ ịbụ ụzọ nweta ụwa ụnyaahụ n'ụbọchị gara aga yesterday is ụnyaahụ on the day before it was ekekere ụwa ụbọchị ya isha na-efe ekekere ụwa but the day he sanctified, the day he commanded that we keep holy, that we do not make marriage, we do not bury people, we do not walk on that line, on the line. But Ubachita, or this day, is the day of our fall, the day of Enugu, the day he used the mountain Enugu to squeeze clean water, the day he used the mountain Cameroon to squeeze clean water for his people at Chuku, from where he called us to Biafra. Biafra, come and join. Ekekrowa. Anamarioge, I am praying to you, only you, to give us your fear, Ebugi, so that we do not be idolaters. To give us your spirit, Umog, to give us Masigi, give us ịhụnanya gị na enyemaka nke gị zuru oke n'ike gị na nchegharị nke Chineke Chineke nna. Ana m arịọ gị ya dịka nsị arịọ gị mgbe niile n'ihi na enweghị ihe anyị wụ belesọ gị, onye anyị gị ka anyị ma, n'ihi anyị na-arịọ gị sị gị ka anyị okwu a n'ihu, ka anyị ya n'obi, ka anyị ghara ichefu, ka m werekwa n'ichefu gị, ka anyị mekpa ahụ ghara ịdịrị anyị ọzọ, ka anyị ghara ịnọ ijuru ahụ uju ọzọ, ka akwana anyị ya n'ire dịka isi ka anyị ndị nna anyị ndị ekpere ikpe jiri eji na agwụrụ ha, ka anyị gharakwa n'iduhie, ka anyị ghara ikwuhie, ka anyị ghara ịtụ ashị tụgide onye ọbụla, ka anyị ghara ife ihe ọzọ na-awụ gị, ka anyị ghara ikpe ha ekwe n'ikpe na-agwụrụ ndị nke so anyị n'azụ nọ site na agwụrụ ruo mgbe ebi ebi. Bịa nye anyị ngozi gị ma wuru otuto na ekele na ịja mma na ịkwanyere ugwu na ofufe na ịkpụrụ isi ala bụrụ nke naanị gị ruo mgbe ebi ebi. Bịa gbuola anyị mkpa anyị niile na-enweghị nsogbu ọbụla, na-enweghị ihe mgbochi ọbụla, na-enweghị igbu oge ọbụla. Nna biko ma ọsịsọ n'ihi na eme eji emeghere ọdachi, ka aha gị dị nsọ, ka alaeze gị bịa, ka ọchịchị gị bịa, ka eme uche gị n'ụwa dị ka esi eme n'eluigwe. Ma nye anyị taa anyị nke mbọsị anyị, gbaghara anyị mmehie anyị dị ka anyị si gbaghara ndị mehiere anyị, site na enyemaka gị, n'ihi na anyị aga emelie ọrụ ahụ nye anyị n'ụwa anyị wụọ na mana edubakwala anyị n'ihe ọnwụnwa ọbụla, mana nna zọpụta anyị na-ajụ ihe, n'ihi na ala eze wuke gị ike na otito ugbu a na mgbe niile ebi o Chineke nna. Ma nga anyị gbara kpete, ma nga anyị na-ekpe, Anyị bara bete ma ndị anyị ma ndị anyị na-ama ndị anyị bara ndị anyị bịa nka bịa mezuo. Ise 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 ise. Onye kụrụ ụwa nwe ụwa. I'm using this opportunity after I've welcomed Chukwunna in our midst with clean hand. Amacha aka. Amacha aka. Na kwani Mashiach. When they are Mashiach. Whatever it is I ask you, tell them that's what you know. I don't blame you. But pay attention. Hearken to the call of heaven. It's not my call. Now, excuse me. Odor of peace. Udo nke Chineke. Ka awụkwanụ ọnụnụ ihe nna ya ha kpọrọ ya. Kedụ ka aghọta na-enwe sense. Nke awụkwanụ ọdụ Chukwu. The horn of salvation of Chukwu. Ọdụ Chukwu. This is not gadget. Nke awụkwanụ okpu iji ekpuchi isi. To be the cloud to protect us from danger. These are all symbols. What we wear to be able to help a fuzzy, old aging fuzzy eye. It's not theoretical, because old age is a blessing. It's a journey of life that anybody who is blessed goes through. And I welcome everyone who expresses out of humility and the clear heart and clean hands. Welcome Chukwu in our midst, so that this presentation will be worthy of the time and His word. I welcome you. It's almost middle of the day here in the Western Hemisphere, which is Odedanya, which you call Western Hemisphere, in the IGBO. That's the only deme chekwa. And that's why we're restoring His kingdom, the kingdom of Eligwa, CHINEKE, now being the host of heaven, Eke. Not creating another one, because we're not worthy to do that. But I greet you in the time zone, wherever you are. Owoktu, Sigitene, we, Moi Bolachi, we, Sigi, Mammo, Lotiri, Dowo, Onabali, Sigi Dowe. But the topic of this presentation is on whom shall Eke make to understand or know his doctrine. Ukunda, this language and the word of life, because he is the source of life. because, and the purpose is, and the reason is that it's too many false prophecies all over the place. And when a so-called prophecy is coming out of the mouth of an idolater who do not worship Eke, only on Eke Day, but worship creatures, he failed all the commandments, especially the four of the commandments and the fifth, because they even are ashamed to honor their father and their mother by pouring libation, but blaming them. Why you? Why is that your CHINEKE? Where was he when the devil was doing all these damages? You questioning CHINEKE means you are an idolater. You don't know. You don't want to know. And the spirit is not in you. So abandon that Babylon and embrace Eke to know and live. And the basis here is that many prophets shall rise and deceive many. You carry all them that your Babel, that what makes you should make you know that you are worshiping devil and you're not paying attention in the book you're carrying around. You call Babel, but it's not the name. That's Okuchuku. That's the word of Chukwu. You go to Matthew 24. Verses 11. You will find it. But that name is not Matthew. But this is not an Igbo class. So I will start with what you know. So you can build yourself to what you should know. If you keep watching this presentation from Obi Biafra, and Obi is the central house where we worship Chukwu Eke Kroa, like our fathers. Central house where we worship him, where is quote unquote ebe anyị quote unquote si na agọ ogu. We do not go ogu. Ogu is what you go to the book of Revelation 3 verses 9 to see and know why that verse. The synagogue of Satan. Synagogue of Satan. But we, our own, the real one, the Igbo one, the Chukwu one, the Eke, the one Eke understands, is synagogue ogu worship, where we worship him. But the war is his, because he already told us, thou shalt not kill. So let the killing be his. He is the creator of all beasts and the human. And it is today, the tool here, as you can see, is Igbo language, the language of heaven. Take it or leave it, and pay for it, reward, and be rewarded for it. The reward of the punishment is in your own hands. But we're going to figure out who these false prophets are. And we're going to start with the algorithm that is given to us. Big grammar, but it's a formula that is given to us in the handbook. That's one of the reasons, one of the things I need to caution some of my brothers who are out there tearing down religion, yes, but do not fail to understand that there is no connection between religion. That because you want to tear religion down, yes, and rightfully so, does not mean there is no HA. So this is the reason why we have to pay attention to this message of hope and truth. Because everybody is saying, oh, we're going to tell the truth, we're going to tell the truth, but that's, be ready, because be ready for what you're asking for, because you're about to get it. The truth is, what you have to bear in mind, so do I, is that the truth is an equal opportunity offender. It offends me, it offends you, but it is a bitter pill that we must have to swallow to live. So in the book of, I will continue from, some fundamentals before I get into this formula, because it has to be synthesized, it has to be built up to be explained so all might know. Before you solve a problem, you have to know where it starts, right? The heart of this problem, what it is. So that's where the big talkers, big words people probably will come to appreciate is root cause analysis. How to check the root cause. You have to define that problem. We all know, everybody's talking about it every day. Killing you, discrimination, suppression, marginalization, and all that. We have heard them. And then, but you have to be able to measure it, to know where you are right now. All these killings, all these massacres, all these statements about conspiracies and the scientific agenda on how to use umbrumri to kill, and all kind of umbrumri and the guns and weapons of the flesh to exterminate black people. We all know that right now. The baseline is there. Don't be asking and asking. You have to know it before you solve it. But we're going to analyze it. Analyze it to break it down. Who is doing this and where? How? To what extent? And to improve on it. And we improve and then figure out, if we are here today, how far do we want to be the next day and forever? To pass down to our children. To keep doing the same thing. To control this game. To sustain it. Then when you do your little arithmetic, you'll be doing, you have y is equal to x prime, y, x prime, prime 3, and all that. And when you put them together, you know the magnitude of what that problem is. To know how much control you must have to put on it in order to put it in check. And what you need here is still the truth. Because if you do not know the truth, all these your x and the x prime, all the x, if you add them up, it's going to be garbage in and garbage out, right? Then let's also go to false prophet identification, people who speak big grammar, don't know that these things are things that we are gotten from your grandfathers. That's why adultery, fornication, and all these things are so prevalent among us, because we think it's coming from any other place but ours. But once you finish the tug of war, right? So once you get rid of it, tug of war, right? Don't lie to yourself so you can live. That's why some of us are dying quick, because they don't want to believe. And in doing that, you must have to know about the identities of the devil, which are always, the message I'm always used to keep here is always used, because you have to know who is speaking and the speaker. It's not my word. And I got you going. Nobody on flesh alone can do that, can do this. If it's for me to allow this, do you think I'll be doing it? I am not doing it because because of the comforts of the flesh for me to do it. But if you want to doubt, try him. Me? Try him, or try his message. So the identities of the devil include envy. You see it all over the place, right? Happy 3 family. Yes. Now. See, imposter. You want to be the creator instead of the creature. Do be in your place. If you're not CHINEKE, if you're not a child created on the 7th day, you created on the 6th day, and still praise and worship Chukwu, not to rebel against him. This is the problem today. You're going to be getting it. Lies. Lies everywhere. In the court of today, possessed by devil, you will see people coming, and the so-called judges will come in, and they play Hollywood and Nollywood, and they will tell you, raise your hand. I'm not raising this because it is not just a gadget. Raise your hand. Do you declare that everything you say here is the truth? Only the truth. So help me. Instead of saying Eke, they play the sorcery and witchcraft and say, so help me, God. This is, although is something that is created, it's not Eke. Pay attention for your soul. You say, he that is dead is dead. But it doesn't end there. IGBO. Enwere ihe na-akpọ ọnwụ nwe ihe na-akpọ ije ọnwụ. But if you want to nwụọ or die, it's on you. But if you want to go by this Biafra, this thing I'm asking you to come and join and follow. If you do not do it, You die. Not a John. Lies and deceit. And killer. You will hear the truth. You say, kill him. You kill your generations. Oh my God. Don't think you're gonna, when you start doing natural phenomena. Grammar. Hashika man English. Kashika man abeke. Natural disaster. You forget the plague. The word plague. Punishment. Damnation. But as you continue it, going to the heavens on earth with all your so-called governors and all of the Obis and Onis and Obas. You're killing people. You put your 40-meter gas pipeline in the heart of Igbo. Obi, and everybody's watching you, and you think you're going to escape the pit. And the next is some of the big grammars you understand that was taught in the taught to us in Ifo. That's our manahadum. Without the supplicate and all that rubbish doctor prophet shit and all the mess. President, chairman of World Igbo Congress, president of ANAYZE, Uni of Ocha, Cha, Obi of Bini, Uni of Bini, Uni of ill-Ife instead of ill-Ife, and Sultan of Sokoto. These are all strangers, but you'll find out. But in this layer of another one is a layer of protection, free from idolatry. That's key right there. It's where everything is anchored. Worship only Eke. On Eke day only, plus the 5th day, where it is say that you Ugwise Enwere Ogiri Ofiri. That's one of my uncle's name. Extended family uncle name is Ofiri. That is the 10 commandments. Then in Ofishi, if is honor your father and your mother, so that your life on this earth will belong. It's not when you go to marry from Ufunedi. Your father tell you don't go. Your mama say you tell you don't go. And you go. And when you go and be crossing all these moral marriage ceremonial laws and nutritional laws, and you get in trouble. Did your mother's father tell you, eat this is healthy, leave that there, nyom, and you say, oh, nyom. You pay for it, and you be so my stomach. Even when they are life or death, remember what they told you by honoring them. Then we go to my qualification, my people, my brothers and sisters. This is your brother, that's the I'm no rabbi, no in heaven. rabbi in devil, a rabbi in hell. I am not an imam. See you wanna drive by my Mercedes Benz. And you say, do you know me? Oh yes, I know you. I saw you at the party the other day. Whether you know him or not. Imam. And Ragi. Bogishi. Priest. Preacher. Brishi. Bogishi. Yefegi. And Rabagi. In hell. So these words are not the Igbo, but there's sorcery played with it to get the objective of devil. My qualification, I just went to school. I went to the University of Timbuktu, according to Caesar. But this is Marahadum of Team Agni Bo Okoto. Bo Okoto, which means to have life or to live to see the next day. That's what Team Bo Okoto is. See, everybody's scared of Igbos dominate. No, everybody is Igbo. It's just Lucifer. It's just Ken. It's just Caesar. And all those Rabana, in hell, to walk like zombies in the broad way that leads to domination. Oh, okay, Naga. My entrance qualification to go to this school is that you must be weaned from the milk, which must be drawn from the breast. The breast of what? The breast of beast created on the 6th day, or the breast of Umochukwu Agunu Nagahebi, that has not turned away from the covenant, and the cast to the side, cast away, or being killed because they did not follow that covenant. If you do not, for instance, if you do not worship Eke on the Eke day only, what did he say? That you shall be put to death. These are realities. These are not all this rubbish all over the place. And if you have to go, for the Creator to hear you, you must be able to speak in the language he understands, the language of heaven. And you have to go through his children to be able to speak it. And that's why BBC, French 24, all the Caesar, all this Caesar media have to go and they recruit, deceive, pollute those who claim to be Igbo because they speak Igbo, to want to reach heaven, to reach the Igbo people, or Hausa people, or Yoruba people, for them, because it's not in their nature to go to heaven directly. So those who want to humble themselves, or these of other nations who want to humble themselves, you want, do. If you don't want, don't do. Because I'll tell you right now, nobody can save you but Chukwu Okike. Daniel, or Daniel, or whatever you chose to call him, either by deceit or by naivety. In his prayer in chapter 9, verses 9, I repeat, to Chukwu Okike, to CHINEKE, belongs mercies and forgiveness. So is salvation. Nobody is your savior. That's an abomination to call a person on flesh your savior. Is the messenger. We can only be messengers and the preacher or prince, not king, nor savior. What we're doing here is restoring Biafra. We're not creating another nation. And to be able to get into that kingdom, the kingdom of Eke, that's the only person that is king. These are things we have to do. This is what I'm doing. I'm not trying here to castigate anyone or here to have the spike on any person. But if you're the source of these devil ways and you're feeling get cut in it, you have yourself to blame, because I know and been promised that only na watch agaji. These are things I was told, and it's fair. It's no curse. The cursing is in your own hands for your own self. So that's the entrance exam. Wind from the milk, human milk, and the milk of your kind, the kind in based on the how you keep this covenant, whether you keep it or not. If you don't keep it, the people who don't keep it, you don't go be drinking their milk or be conceived by them. This is what people talk. Oh, you may cast it. You may cast it. That's a lie. Nobody forces nobody to be cast. You cast yourself out. You cast yourself aside. You cast yourself away. And you cast yourself to death. And if you're in ignorance and you don't know, then you can sacrifice an animal. You can sacrifice a beast. This is the book that is being twisted. This is why Africa is stupid. Africans don't think properly. Africans don't know how to, stick together. Because you abandoned this. You abandoned your name, Ndibo. People of the ancient, you want to answer black. Nigger. You want to abandon the fact that you're Igbo. Igbos dominate. We know Igbo. All right. If you're not Igbo, which means you cast away or cast aside or must be put to death. Or if you don't know now, during as this grace, the train of grace is packing around you all over the world, here through this Ogbako Obi Biafra, ebe anyị shi na-aga ma Chukwu gawara anyị. You're not gonna make it. And I'm not happy that you're not going to make it as an individual. But chukunato, because he who owns this speech makes the decision. So, in this equation or formula, whichever way you call it, but I know what we call it, marahadum. Tim Bokut at CHINEKE to see the next day. Each day. Bokut. Now, in that entrance exam, yes, we passed through that. And then entrance, and then we go into that formula where it says precept. You must be weaned from the milk and the drawn from the breast, because the whole table, the whole earth is full of filth. It's full of vomit and the puke. And who shall he teach this doctrine? The prophet, true prophet. Right? And he said, but the way to do it, you must know, you must go by that the precept must be upon precept, right? And so here nusoro, go nusoro, which means you have to read it, or try to understand it through a consistent, perfect, consistent logic path. Ijoku is in the midst. Line by line. Then here is the patience of Ndinzo. The patience of the saints. You have to be patient. Patience and consistency. Because he that believes does not make haste. Don't rush it. You want to go into Biafra today. If you don't get Biafra in the next 5 years, you abandon it. Because you've seen the devil, the devil's bait. I will make you the next Nnamdi Azikiwe, the international politician. International politics and diplomacy and diplomatic mission. It is not a castigation, but a lot of us are just naive. In case we are just being naive, or in case we just want to greedy. What kind of coffee do I put in the machine? Press button. And then here a little, there a little. You see this here? The book that you have stampeded upon with your devils, and call it Bible or Babylon or Babel. This is a step out of that Babel. It's safer. This is how dangerous Onichaa is, the Oni of Onichaa is Sefa. Sefa. Instead of Seha, draw them, not Sefa. That's how the Onis has corrupted the Igbo language across the entire Africa and across the entire world. Some came from there. Some came from Timbuktu, University of Timbuktu, Marahadum. Some came from the Fulani, the Hausa people call it Boko Haram. But algorithm, Onishaa, Onitsha. Has anybody thought about the meaning of Mitsha in Igbo language? Is that Onishaa or Onichaa or Chanja? Chanja market to destroy Aba, which you call Aba. That's the ancient manufacturing city of the Umozu, you call the Moors. Aba, Ibubanoba, Aba, a store. If Aba, you store in the storehouse, which they have occupied to call Oba. Obi is where we worship Oike. It's not where we do all these sorceries. They're going to destroy themselves. I didn't go to school for this. As a matter of fact, I did not go to no school. Education. I don't even know what the name Kampoop means. I'm a miscreant. They call me miscreant. Well, that's a picture. It tells a book. 1,000,001 means 1,000,001 words. Not to castigate, but to show a picture of what we do not want to be like. And the biggest is Team at the Spirit. Timbuktu. From my father, who never answered no professor, no doctor, no chairman, no president, no or imam. Bobhage, Bogish, British, Irish, Scottish, Spanish, Polish, Welsh, Ishi. We are blinded and put together as Briti-ishi. And all this to create all these evil nations. Adam Smith fought this. Indigenous people fought this. What was Adam Smith saying? Who was Adam Smith talking to when they said, leave us alone? For some of you who love to speak nincompoop, I guess you will prefer to hear laissez-faire. But that's leave us alone. Karl Marx predicted today, and he was castigated as a government, a bad government. It is not democracy, which is democracy, kahokracy, chukwokike, ekekro. They like he said in this covenant. So what is the relationship with Marxism, communism, all these isms? But what the man was saying, that if you keep doing what you're doing, You're going to run into the judgment of Elohim. Not Elohim. Elohim is deceit. Elohim, you shall come to be judged by me. Be judged. You shall be judged. Because Yahweh, he sees all. These are what these indigenous people were saying. Even Charles, who gave you the Charles law, these are all Igbo, these are Igbo sources, things gotten from Igbos, Newton, all that. People, there's nothing you look at, you go and spend 10 to 20 years acting stupid and calling yourself, I'm a professor. I'm a professor. Soludo, governor of Central Bank, rewarded to Oni of Igbo. And when asked, when the price of oil was $150 per barrel, this man was asked, your professor was asked, that Nigeria is with this oil, big oil boom. Nigeria must be making a lot of money. What do you say about it? He said, in his own words, your professor, you're going to call your Igbo leader. But I am not the Igbo leader. Who is your father? Warren Chief Traditional Wokedi had the guts, asked me among my sisters, who is my father? Nwachuku. Who is my father? A Canaanite, an Ammonite, coming to say, Obi God. Obu God, the killer of God, must be great. Right from Gaza, which is Gaza in the east bank of Yarden, Golem Yarden. Let the Jericho wall of Jericho fall. Yarden, you call them Yarden. You go to a lot of people, African American people doing what I'm doing today. They'll teach you. You think this is isolated? Go underground. Go underground. There's nothing underground. It is happening. If it's not what our elders, your Canaanite and Ammonite elders are saying. So you for vain. Ill-Onichaa. What do you call him? He called him Obi Biafra. What an abomination to be Obi in Igbo land. The people who slave catchers who killed God's children, and they instituted rubbish called Obi God. The next time the black brother talked to him, African American brother, asked him, but what is the meaning of Obi God? Ekwela Obia. Do not allow them to run to you. Don't allow sojourners, which is, go to the moral law and see what an abomination. And some of them ran to where you call Bayelsa today. Chukwu allowed them to Bayelsa. People you call Okreka. The people of Frank Opibo. These people come from Chukwu, not Arochukwu. Call Chukwu Arochukwu. It's an abomination. Don't do that no more. It's the city that is called by his name. They brought them in. And you can look at how they mess him up with Gogoro. So-called your past president. Every time you ask him, the West are dealing with dangerous, community, or whatever they call it. Dangerous, the one dealing with the diversity better. Always sleeping from Gogoro. And the Uni of ill-Bini, and all of them, they got together and messed up the Biafra, the Abori Accord. These people that are ganging today. The elders, all of our elders, are getting together. These are not your elders. These are foreigners. They are strangers. Not only Fulani. And most of the people you call Fulani are not Fulani. They are Fulanized. They have as much chance, if not more, than you, if they listen. These people are from Mauritania, Mojeruola. They call it Mojeria, Mauritania. Morocco, the flag of Morocco is more than 10,000 years. And it is still flying. They hijack. Caesar is hiding it. And it's in the internet. Tomorrow night they're going to remove it the same way they sent the science agenda to exterminate black people to some of the people who are calling now become our leader. They do people. Once I send them that thing to see what is happening, it wasn't up to a week. It was snatched out of the internet. And you're going to tell me who sold who? Yahuwah. So line by line, here a little, there a little. The Creator cannot tell you everything. From one time, you have to be patient, consistent in following Him, and the more He shows you, and the kind of tells you all this, told you all this, He warned you about these things. You just getting the details. Because the appointed time is drawing near, and the only warranty. He that hath ear, let him hear. I am myself. It's just seeking my own salvation with fear, with what I hear, what I see, what I hear, with fear and trembling. If you want to, join. If you don't want to, perish. But death, there is death, and there is journey of death. If you go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, you will hear where Ezekiel, he's called by his name. He's not Eze, but he was called by his name. Igbo. That's an Igbo. all of you dark-skinned people are Igbo. But you're not, because you're selling your souls. Ezekiel said, they're killing our people right now. Just like in that. Right here. This is what they're doing, right? Ezekiel told us that the dry bones in the valley shall live again. That he prophesied, he was asked to prophesy to the dry bones, to have taken breath. And they took a breath and turned into an army. So you're talking about Caesar telling you all this rubbish right from Fela time. Unknown soldier, unknown army, and you tag it on IPOB, innocent people who do not have not even a gun, walk in the city like Boko Haram, innocent children, Hausa children and of the North African children that you have trained and gave them Urumini to be killing their brothers. The science agenda in it. Nobody tell me this is. I think everybody who's salvageable will not have the gut to come and tell me it's fake news. Fake news. Now that's it for this algorithm. You take it home as your homework. You chew it. You watch it. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Here a little, there a little. And be prepared to follow the principle of marrying from your kind. You look at that, your hair, that is looking string hair. Look in your mirror and see how you're going to feel. Look at that animal skin, Esau, accursed. And you go home and you look in the mirror. If there is any seed of AK in you, there's nobody going to tell you, go to your agro. Do not go and contaminate yourself because of you want to ride my Mercedes Benz. You want to go by my Mercedes Benz. You ride that Mercedes Benz, your life is not going to be the same. You've totally modern. You got a professional society award. What you going to bring to us? Bring home is nothing but cults. Obasanjo, Chief, Chiufu, anybody, all these buzzwords like Chifu, Chufu, traditional Woked, professor of World Igbo Congress and the ANAYZE Igbo. I went to Harvard, I went to Garvard, I went to Oxford, I went to Dockford, I went to, vomit and schools and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Professor, what are you going to do with this? What would Nigeria do with this money? Nigeria got too much money that they do not know what to do with it. He bear me witness. And the next minute they're complaining. They hit the bridge. The Niger bridge. A bridge that Brigadier, Biafran Brigadier Okwechima and his boys could bring down and put it back in 6 months. Not this, we're going to go on to logistic with from China. We're going to be logistic from the Americans speak. We will go to Britain and to get it from London made. We could go to Russia and bring in Lord Macaulay. Lord Macaulay, anything foreign, right? We go to international, APOB play international politics. They have 3 sessions now. Another Nnamdi Azikiwe. Wishful thinking. We're not going to have no president in every village that has Onishi in charge. And then they preach it. We govern their village as in democracy. Democracy. And if there's any judgment, whether you are big or small, it's going to be applied to you, same by your own village. Nobody will come from another village killing in your village. The same thing Oni did to Ata, did to Gad, Ubugad, did to Igbo. Igbo is Idu, and they're telling you that Idu is no longer Igbo. Fear. Igbo, the great Igbo that laid as Idu, carried the Igodo to his people in the west and told them, Bini, enter. That's where this Ammonite or Amalek, go to that Jeremiah 49 verses 1 through 10 and read and see where these people came from. And read Isaiah, go read the Psalm, which you call Psalm 83. And you see where all these people who gathered calling them Nigeria elders, talking about Niger Delta, Southern Delta, and the Northern Delta, and Middle Belt, North, West, Southwest, Southeast, South, Northeast, North, West. Riffraffs. They don't know what is coming to them because they have to cage in Nnamdi Kanu. And then they come out here and talking all this rubbish. And then people think Nnamdi Kanu is not Biafra. Oh, Biafra. He's leading. Chukwu asked him to blow the trumpet. He blown the trumpet. But know that there is a person you kill. You kill your entire generations and all these wicked nations instantly. Don't believe me? Just watch. I think I will leave it there to have people, allow some chance for people to watch and dissect. If you have asked me, I will have said more. But there's another day. Chinwando. And I'm not the only one speaking this. I'm not the only one from whose mouth this is coming from. Those who want to go across America, paying everybody that I mentioned their name. From Chukwu. Even idolater, because they're not. That Chukwu asked me to speak to send this message that must be sent to them. And they're going around, who is our brother, who is our sister, and who is our brother. And they get a little... It's not for them. It's my people. The people that are being deceived to follow idolatry. To let them know that this is idolatry will kill you. And those before me taught us that if you go to preach this biasoro, this message to them, go to your brothers and sisters and teach them, give them this message that must be sent. Excuse me, pop-ups. And if they refuse to accept it, wipe off your feet, the dust on your feet, and let it be a condemnation, and let it be a witness against them. But if you go into New Ife and getting gold, partying how you were given a special gold, or you go on and getting some, freebie from all these Ammonites and the Molech and their Caesar or Canaanite leader or Edom, and you come out here, you're trying to spit on the grave of the ancient, the grave of the evil. You want to shit on the top of the grave and piss on the grave of your makers, your ancestors, the righteous, the land of creation, Ali, Balanso. Think again. You just deceived. But you gotta be repentant. That's all you have to do. Don't tell me you want to be Jesus Christ. You know what Christ means? Hey, people. These are Igbo language twisted. Korishi. Possess the head. Tammuz. Sun God. Whatever they call God. God. Briti-ishi. Possess the head. But you never had me with Doctor, Professor, Kingi, so I'm African brothers and sisters, black, what they call us black. In the book, the people of the ancient, Igbo people, everywhere, the 3-4 corners of the earth. I beseech you, by his name, get out of Babylon. Run for your life, because this train of grace is not going to be sitting on this dock, at these docks for you forever, because it's not because we are getting more righteous or righteous, but the Most High is getting impatient from the begging. Or give us one more day, give us one more minute, give us one more year. It's no more giving you any more year. That scares me too. And it's only why I have to pray to him alone, and him alone, to help me. Oh, Chukwoke, CHINEKE na nke bi n'eluigwe, help us. Help those who want help, and may their peace, may your peace be unto all of us, upon all those who want peace. And with that said, I say, CHINEKE bless us. I say with the 5 toes of my feet, right feet, I say, Ise, the left leg, Ise, 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 You can see that sign of Igbo elder. Not umwokoko funeti. You know what Ufu is? Ufu is wolf. And that's what Caesar gave. He's given all of you. Ask you to answer the spirit of Ufu. Chi Ufu. Only when I was in a. But just like I tell some of you, those I have gotten in contact with, hearken, not to me, but this word for those, any, or those who turn their eyes, their ears away from this teaching. Even your prayer is an abomination unto HA, the speaker, whose voice it is. I am just human. And those of you running around looking for you do. While Nnamdi Kanu was told that he would be used to blow the trumpet, that will restore Biafra, which is this covenant. And he swore to Chukwu, saying, any day I abandon this restoration of Biafra, destroy me and destroy my entire generation, and you go and know this and still call him Onyendu Iduhere, Tupaga Naka, Uni of Onisha, his fellow devils, because he was looking for money. You poisoned him to go to fight. And when he decided to listen to you, you became a misery. And you took your brother, like John the Baptist, and passed him to Herod. You are a misery of devil. You Charles, Chief Moked, you hide behind innocent women. You want to turn them into Eve, Joe, with diaper running all over the place. You want to make your sister, vulnerable sisters, although they're not your sisters, because you are Ammonite, Ubugad. You want to, because you heard them saying, after me and them spoke a little bit, they spoke about, some of them talked about woman riot. That wasn't in Onisha, that was in Abba. It wasn't with Onichaa. Onichaa was the people that these women and the Moked were the people these women were agitating against in 1929. And they ran behind and took all these Amalekites. Baby, one night they kind of called baby saboteurs to come and betray him, to call him Onyendu. Anytime any of you call him Onyendu again, CHINEKE won't knock like he always. Curse all of you. Oh, Chineke, forgive me.